Hey, everybody, off the Mike Sports Network here. Another edition of Off the Top Rope. I did a lot of positivity about Dynamite from Boston, but I want to talk about how the show started with Mercedes Mone taking on Athena in a dream match, a fantastically worked, fantastically executed match by these two ladies. They're two of the best in the business. It was a legitimate dream match, and it ended on a roll up with a handful of tights. That's how you ended your dream match on free television. Could have been a pay-per-view match, could have happened at All In, but no. Mercedes, Hogan, Mercedes, whatever, sister had to get her creative control in. And, you could say maybe it's protecting Athena. I call it bullshit. This maybe I reserved the right to be, surprised in the build-up moving forward. But based off the way this is structured and the fact that the match is happening at Double or Nothing, I would be really surprised if Mercedes Moné does not win this Owen Hart Cup tournament. Whether it's Chris Statlander in a third match between those two, which I would love to see, and I would love to see, love to see Mercedes Moné versus Jamie Hayter in a match Double or Nothing. Appropriately for Jamie Hayter, it would be almost 2 years to the day since she lost the Women's World Championship. So maybe there's a story there, and maybe they work us out of this. But based off the way that this got sorted out, and they immediately brushed Athena aside. There's no real means she may have a case for another match, but maybe they try to make this into a story, and Athena maybe costs Mercedes. But at this point in time, I just could not see a scenario where Mercedes Moné is taking her first pinfall before All in Texas. I just don't see that happening. And the way this is heading is a way I am not fond of. This is an example of, giving somebody who is great and was completely undermined in the previous place they were, but you gave them too much creative control. And now here we are in this situation where Athena hadn't been pinned in almost 2 years. And that's the way you beat her. That's the way you get through this first match. That's it. Like, I know a lot of people were expecting, maybe a double pin or not a count out, but a time limit draw or something like that to maybe get to, potentially a triple threat or a three-way at the pay-per-view. That realistically wasn't going to work. And the more I got into this, and especially with it ending up being in Boston, Mercedes was going to win in her hometown. She wasn't going to lose. So, listen, I'm not fond of this. Like, I don't like this. And it sucks because this match was really, really good. A lot of great counters, a lot of great execution on the inside and the outside of the ring. There were some really spectacular maneuvers. Athena is really outstanding, and it's a shame that this is really the first showcase we've had to see her on really worldwide television for the first time in 2 years. Like, what the fuck happened? She was just tucked away in Ring of Honor for the longest time. And, the one way or another, whether Mercedes, here's the thing. If they want to go the other way and go back to this match in Texas, it's going to be a winner take all match. And Mercedes is still going to win a championship at All In. Like, no matter what way you slice it, that's the way this is going. And the way that this has gone for the first year, from Boston to Boston, here we are. Mercedes has really flexed her creative muscles, and it has not benefited a lot of people except for her. And, admittedly, I will be really pumped if we do get Mercedes versus Toni Storm, two of the most dominant women in this division, former ex-WWE talents, one who molded themselves into the star they were, one who came over and didn't really change anything and is really just, run roughshod over the division. But like I said, on a show that was really good and in a match that was really good, it was just a really dumb finish. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was necessary. I didn't think I was very critical of them doing this match in the first place. It was a great match, but you blew it off here on a quick show here just to pop a rating and make your show feel bigger, which I'm all for. But when you have so many damn pay-per-views now, it does. That's the problem. Is like AEW structurally is a little bit flawed in that concept, and to just toss somebody aside like Athena and give her first pinfall loss in that fashion, just that cheap of a fashion, I understand maybe it is a way to protect her. It still doesn't sit right with me. So, yeah, just a little bit disappointing there. Again, I'm not surprised, but Mercedes Hogan, with her dance and everything, she runs roughshod. And you know what? Listen, people need to get it through their heads. And, maybe, if you subscribe to this channel, you think I shit on Mercedes Moné. I think she has done an immense amount for for women's wrestling across the country. And I think she deserved, to get paid, to get the bag, to get the control that she did. But it is very clear that this is not working. And I'm telling you, AEW, if you are watching this, if you go down the road of having her and Tony Storm at All In, winner take all, or if you don't go winner take all and you just go for the women's championship and you have Mercedes hold every single title in this company, that is a terrible look. That is a awful look for this division, and it sends the completely wrong message from what Mercedes was brought in to do. And everybody else who wants to be a Mercedes, stan or whatever can dismiss that, but that's what this looks like. It looks like she has just got way too much power, way too much ego, and this is not about putting over people. Because what good did that serve anybody other than her? Okay? And it'll admittedly be a great match. Her and Tony Storm, if it happens at all, and will be better than her and Britt Baker. But it's not going to net anything, especially if Mercedes wins. If Tony retains and Tony's the first person to beat her, fine, cool. And then maybe they could set up a feud or something like that. But I don't see that happening. And this could also be a roundabout way for her to just, keep that TBS title warm for long enough before she can just, like be stripped of it or drop it or whatever, or just vacate it and unceremoniously, just pass Jade Cargill. So, all in all, yeah, that was a disappointing part of what was a really solid Dynamite tonight. So, anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.